99% of people that think they're getting shadow banned, YouTube doesn't even know you exist, actually. You're not getting shadow banned. You just need to improve your content. You gotta just press record.
I have thousands of subscribers, barely any views. Is YouTube shadow banning my content? Is this true or false? Does YouTube do this? What do you guys think?
I think it's false. I know there might even be some people in our community that are offended by that because they'd say, of course they shadow ban. Well, here's what I mean. Number one is I think that 99% of people who say they're being shadow banned are just putting out crappy content and they're trying to blame somebody else, and it's a victim perspective, and you're gonna lose with that mentality. Is it true that YouTube and Google is more of a liberal leaning organization? Yes. And is it true that at times they have been harder, it would seem, on sometimes conservative voices? Yes. However, there's plenty of conservative channels that are going viral, getting a lot of views. And the reason I say false is to empower the listener to say that the only mentality that will lead you to a winning YouTube channel is just assuming that shadow banning is not happening. And if you're not getting views, work harder. If you're not getting views, be more creative. If you're not getting views, hit it from a different angle. If you're not getting views on certain topics, we'll find the topics you can talk about and move your audience somewhere else. 99% of people that think they're getting shadow banned, I would say YouTube doesn't even know you exist, actually. You're not getting shadow banned. You just need to improve your content. And because what are you going to do about it as well? I mean, that's my thought, is like, it's a disempowering place because the only real option you have is to complain about it. What are you going to email Google? They're not going to do anything, and so there's plenty of people from all different beliefs and backgrounds who find a way. They publish certain content on YouTube. They build up an email list. Again, they build up their own paid subscription site. They just find a different way to communicate, and maybe they put out certain types of content. My friend Ruslan, he is thoughtful about certain things he talks about on YouTube, and then he's like, and we have like unedited stuff in our Patreon. So YouTube is still the play. YouTube is the #1 video platform. Some people may want to diversify, but I would never leave YouTube. You just may be thoughtful about your approach. But I think the shadow banning thing just gets overhyped. And I think you can get what's called a confirmation bias. You hear a couple stories and you're like, see that this creator, this happened. And you're like, yeah, but there's also these creators over here that have the exact same viewpoints that are pulling 50 million views a month. So it's like, what you want to see is kind of what you will see. I'd say put your head down, do the work, be wise as serpents and harmless as doves, and who cares about shadow banning, man? Get to work.
Get to work.
I love that. And I would just add too that you might have a lot of subscribers. That doesn't mean you're going to get a lot of views.
Fact.
And so just know that
subscribers
that's how
is
YouTube
the new
is.
dirty data.
It is.
Kinda.
It can be, definitely it can be. And so people get, confused, like I'm shadow banned, but it's like, you might've done really well in the past. Maybe you had some shorts blow up. You got a couple thousand subs now, but your videos, like you said, aren't doing that well. The one other thing I'd add to that is where I think people need to be careful to actually not get shadow banned is understanding that YouTube is a company that they run ads. So people post like crazy content. I think there was just a lot of kind of stuff with the Nelk boys going on, and they were getting, I think, kicked off of YouTube and their content and all this kind of stuff. And so, cause they're posting, more content that is not as advertiser friendly. And so keep that in mind.
And is arguably crime in certain situations. Whether it was, and I that's the kind of stuff you get into because, of course, during lockdowns, they're doing huge meetups. They're putting observably, potentially, like the public in danger, and you could debate all that. But when you step into that territory, it's a great conversation because one thing that gets people really mad is right now YouTube's cracking down on swearing. And that if you really swear at all, that you're no longer going to be considered family friendly. And they're so offended. You're like, yeah, well, then either swear because you want to and figure out how to monetize elsewhere, or don't do it. Like, people just get so butthurt all the time.
Yeah.
They really did. Like, it's like, dude, it's a free platform that if you they get to make the rules.
Right.
And so it could be, swearing. It could be doing dangerous things or dangerous pranks. And then it could be
Well, did you see all the new updates with gamers? And so even within the first like 10 seconds, there's certain advertisers are just, you're not gonna be able to be monetized if you show violence within the first 10 seconds, or if there's like blood in the video game. Like there's new rules coming out for certain niches, and people need to play by the rules of YouTube if they're giving you your paycheck. That's just the way it is.
And gamers are like, I can't believe it. I can't even play any games based on this. It's not even like MA17. It's like MA13 on the violence. And you're like, okay, man, okay, I understand.
Yeah.
But like, if you are a true entertainer and you build up a true audience, like you can do channel memberships, you can do Patreon, you can diversify your audience on different platforms. You can figure it out. I'm empathetic because, I mean, depending on what you're doing, people just, I mean, it's like you want to have your cake and eat it too. And in some cases, it seems like that doesn't necessarily work. But there are going to be those who make excuses and complain and play the victim card. And there are going to be those who find a way and get results. And I think that the winning strategy is the strategy of finding a way and figuring it out, to be yourself, to be authentic, but to not complain about YouTube cracking down on you. It is what it is, man. You got to just
take ownership.
Take ownership and play the hand you're dealt.
Yeah.